So, first of all, I hope you are safe and sound out there, and this whole pandemic shit is gone past you, or your family, or your friends, or your band.
Yeah, no, so far everything is all right. My family, everybody around me are fine, and we are all safe. So yeah, it's
Okay,
fine for this.
okay, nice. Since I'm conducting this interview on behalf of Abaddon Magazine from Serbia, the first obvious question is, do you perhaps remember your show in Belgrade in 2015 on the tour where you supported Suicidal Angels?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
So yeah, now is your time to tell us that we were the best audience in the whole wide world.
Yeah, of course. I remember it was a very, very good show. It was a great show. Actually, it was our first time there, and we never play there again, and we just can't wait for going there. Yeah, I remember it was a very nice evening. We loved the city and the country, and of course the show was really, really good. Yeah, completely appreciated it.
Yeah, nice, nice. Didn't expect that. Okay.
Yeah, no, of
Uh,
course it was very good. Of course it was.
yeah, okay. So basically a couple of more introductory questions. Spain is not quite all that known, but with its thrash metal scene, and so can you tell me a bit more about your status over there? What's your status on the local scene? And are there any other bands? Because we don't get too much of those coming from your country. And do you
Yeah,
even pay attention to the local scene?
yeah. The Spanish metal scene is a huge scene. I mean, it's a very powerful and very strong. In my opinion, I think Spain is one of the best countries nowadays for touring. We got like, I don't know, 15 or 20 metal festivals, like big major festivals there. Most of them are always sold out. So yeah, it's a very, very strong inner scene. About the bands, it's like most of the bands they sing in Spanish. So normally they don't go out from Spain. They are very big here in the country, but and of course in Latin America. So they are quite big here in South America, but completely unknown for the rest of the world. Uh, but yeah, Angelus Apatrida was one of those bands that started singing in English and started working worldwide, like internationally, thanks to signing to Century Media Records. And of course, there are a lot of other bands, like newer bands coming out that you should check. Of course, and especially in thrash metal scene, of course, you should check Crisix. I think that they are a very, very big band in Spain as well.
Oh, okay, thank you for the information. So just out of curiosity, and I'm starting a bit of a story about your band. So basically, you were a young band when you had just like two albums out on small, I'm guessing, local labels. So then one day you get a call from Century Media, and so what was your first reaction? Did you think it was a prank call, or just pinch yourself to know you're not dreaming?
Yeah, no, it was not a call. Actually, it happened in a show in Madrid. We were playing there, and two guys from Century Media were in town, and they decided to check the band because they were searching for a Spanish band, and they already knew about us, so it was a perfect time for them for catching us and watching us. So we didn't know it. So we just played the show, and after the show, someone just gave me a card, like
Mm-hmm.
invitation card from Century Media with a phone number and the words "call me," and it was like wow. So yeah, that moment was like just pinching and saying like, wow, is this true? So yeah, it took me like I think it took me like 1 week to make the call. I was really nervous, and so I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what to say. I didn't nothing. So it took me like almost 1 week. Then I called, and it was a guy. Actually, he was a Spanish guy. It was the responsible of century media in Spain, Portugal, and Latin America. So yeah, it was a perfect conversation in Spanish, and he explained me everything. He said that he was in town with a German AR, and they both came to the show, and they really liked the show. They already listened to the band, and they really liked the band before, but after the show, they decided to make a formal contact. So yeah, this is how it happened. It was in 2008, if I don't remember bad, and it took 1 year and a half almost for finishing the contract. So yeah, it was like a very, very good step for the band actually, and I remember it with a huge smile, of course.
Yeah, that's sort of a dream come true. Yeah, I get that. While I'm picking through the history of the band, I need to ask. I've done some investigating for this interview, and one thing that's caught my eye is the video for "You Are Next." So, really, whose idea was it, and who is Esther?
Yeah, that was a very cool video. Actually, we wanted to make this combination between retro arcade video games and heavy metal music, and yeah, we made kind of a contest through our social networks and internet, searching for young people to join us and join the video, and we found this girl instead, and she just fit perfectly in the profile, and no, it was really, really cool. We also encountered with a very cool company that made the animation of the video of the video game, and yeah, the result is like this. I mean, it's pretty good video. One of my favorites actually.
Yeah, it struck a nerve with me because it showed a sense of humor in you. Because you see a lot of metal guys, just wearing their grumpy face all the time, and acting like they don't actually have a sense of humor. So yeah, it was okay. Yeah, these guys know how to have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a really nice to making this, and it's already 8 years ago that we recorded that video clip actually.
Yeah. Okay. While I'm speaking about videos, and I'm coming to the latest record, your self-titled one, Indoctrinate. First of all, on the subject of your sense of humor, whose father is it wearing the Angelus Apatrida hoodie in the video? And as far as I can tell, there are a couple of bands, like entire bands, appearing in the video. So can you present them or something?
Well, the old guy wearing the hoodie is my father actually. Yeah, and also my mother is on the video as well. Somewhere over there. Yeah, it's my father. But that he's not dressed up. I mean, he wears like this when the man sometimes goes for a walk, or every day he walks, I don't know, like 1 hour, 2 hours every morning, and he's always wearing like Angelus Apatrida stuff. If it's a hat or a beanie or the sweater, whatever. The man is always wearing this. He's like very proud of his sons. No, they are not bands. They are just crews. It's like we wanted to show with this album that the people, our friends, our families, and most of the fans of Angelus Apatrida are like this. Are like different people from different places and from actually different styles. Because our music is not only listened by heavy metal fans. We know that there are punk people listening to Angelus Apatrida. Actually, there are rappers that some of them like heavy metal music and they are into Angelus Apatrida as well. And most of them are friends of us. But no, there's no band. Like there's no music band at all. Just like local crews here from our city, like our friends, our heavy friends, or rapper friends, or new metal friends, or punk friends, and all the people that we know. Like a lot of people that we know. Here and in other cities like Madrid and Valencia.
Hmm. Okay, that's nice to hear. Um, to basically form a link, I'm wondering, you're basically a 20-year-old band that, for most of its career, never changed lineups. Now, I know the two of you are brothers, but how much easier is it to just be in a group of four exact same people for 20 years, or is it in some way more difficult that way?
No, I mean this is the way we were used to work, and actually I think it was like someday like today, maybe 10th of March, that we started playing together. So maybe today is our 21st anniversary. So yeah, I mean it's been quite easy because it's the first guys that I started the band. As you say, Jose is my blood brother, so I know him since forever. And the other two guys, David and Victor, are my friends since we were kids. So we met each other like with 12 or 13 years. And they were one of my first friends that I started to talking about music and talking about bands. And of course, they were the first ones that I started to, one of the first ones that I started to play music together. So it was our dream, like making this band, doing this band and doing this. So we all grew up together. We always wanted the same. We were always in the same boat. And this is a very democratic band. Everybody is so important. There's no leaders. There's no egos. There's no problem with that. So it was quite easy doing this all over the years. And now with 7 albums out and with more than 20 years of career, especially the last 10 years, with has been like the most important and the most professional years of the band. Yeah, I cannot imagine doing this with other people so far. So yeah, it's I think it's kind of a secret for us to keep the same lineup, and this is why I believe that every album that we release is much better than the previous one, because we're always learning, and we're learning the same. It's like there's nothing new, there's nothing external. We're all the same, so we know what we have to improve and all the mistakes that we have to correct in the future. So this is the dynamic that we have for working in this band. So yeah, I don't think that this is the way. I mean, I know bands like they are changing members from time to time, and I completely understand, and I can't believe that actually it could be good for these bands, like changing members. They are that kind of bands, like one or two guys bands, like there is a mastermind or two masterminds in that the band. So the rest of the guys are mostly just players, like musicians. So they don't compose, they don't write music. So it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. But this is we all do all together, and it's like, of course, mostly it's David and me, the guys who write the music. But it's like when I'm composing the music, I know exactly what to do because I know what Victor is gonna do, and I know what Jos is gonna do. So it's like it's very easy. It's like four minds are like connected. It's quite easy. There's no problem with that. Then everybody makes their own. Fixing the music, and then we just release it, and it's very very easy actually.
Yeah, and it is actually heard on the albums. You can actually hear it on the album. You can hear the spirit of four people that know each other inside and out, and it basically comes out when you hit that play button. Now, with the seventh album just out for about a month, do you ever just go back to the early releases, just put the CD in and listen to it? And no, I've heard them all basically, and I see the obvious progress in your sound, though basically you can still connect the first to the last. But can you also hear it yourself?
Yeah, but you mean in between albums?
Yeah, I mean, basically throughout your career, you didn't just record Evil Unleashed 7 times.
Yeah, of course. No. I mean, as I told you before, we every time we finish an album, we just discover a lot of things that we don't like. I mean, like every band, of course, it's like and it's like oof, we need to fix this, we need to improve this, we need to do this better. So every time we finish an album, we're just taking notes for the next one. So when we come with a new album, there are a lot of fixed things, and of course, every album got like very cool songs, and we don't pretend to repeat those cool songs. For example, like the song "You Are Next." I know that this is like a hit. It's a very very good song. It's one of the better songs of Angelus Apatrida. But we don't want to copy the formula. You know, it's like we prefer to let the imagination flow and other creativity flow, and try to improve ourselves in this way. And this is what we are doing every new album. It's like we don't say, okay, this time we need to make a more classical album. This time we need to make a more aggressive album. With this time we need to make a power ballad. We need to make a fast song. No. Everything comes like this. It's like we don't know what's going to happen. It all depends on our on the environment. It all depends on the influence we get from outside, and of course it all depends of our own emotions. And this is how the music flows in our case. This is why this new album is like more aggressive, faster, and more violent, I would say, because everything that happened last year, all the influences that we got, there was no place for kindness. There was no place for happiness in that way, you know. So everything was like bad emotions, bad feelings. So when you sit down and start writing music and composing riffs and stuff, it's like your way of escape. So all these bad things go through the music, and this is how it is. I mean, it's complicated to explain, but no, we try not to copy ourselves. And every time we try to, actually, I quit listening to music the period that I'm writing music. I don't listen to other music. I don't want to get influenced by music. I just want to listen to my mind and try to express through music what is inside of me.
Yeah, I understand that. Now, tell me, and I'm getting to the new album finally. So what I found there, well, it's obviously influenced by Pantera, and basically what you have done there is you took that punch in the face from Pantera and added basically some crossover thrash metal speed, and just a touch of hardcore in there. So are you a fan of old hardcore, like bands like Madball or Agnostic Front?
Yeah, in my case, I've always been a hardcore fan. It's one of my main influences as well. And the same with the punk music. Actually, I grew up with punk music at the same time like heavy metal music, and at the same time like thrash metal music. And I was listening to a lot of different bands when I was a kid and when I was growing up. From I could say from, I don't know, from Agnostic Front, Madball, Biohazard, Suicidal Tendencies, DRI, of course, Anthrax, Testament, all the Bay Area thrash metal was one of my favorite when I was a kid. I always noticed the connection between thrash metal and punk music, especially the American thrash metal. I always understood that, and this is why we always liked more the American thrash metal than the German thrash metal, for example. I love German thrash metal as well, but in my opinion, it's very different. It's like German or European thrash metal was like more death metal alike, like more aggressive in that way, like more Slayer way. Actually, the Slayer, they are from the West Coast, but the thrash metal like Sacred Rites, Nuclear Assault, Testament, Anthrax, Last Rocket, of course, Megadeth, early Metallica, that speed, that punk vibe that they got. And actually, the first time I met Rob Flynn from Machine Head, he explained to me the first day that he discovered thrash metal, and it was listening to Metallica, and automatically every guy into thrash metal, they were like skaters, they were like into punk scene from the Bay Area, you know, from LA or San Francisco or Oakland. All those punk guys were automatically into thrash metal because it was exactly the same. It was like, what was they were all pissed off with the A or R, you know, like hard rock and all that Hollywood bands. So it was perfect for them, like mixing heavy metal with punk music. And this is how I understand my music, and this is what we wanted to do all the time. But of course, we got like hundreds of different influences as well. So yeah, of course, this time I think that we were more pissed off. We were more angry. So I think that this hardcore punk vibe, it's more obvious than ever. But it was always here. I mean, if you analyze even the first songs, the first albums, there are a lot of riffs and some drums, especially drums and the guitars, that they got a lot of punk and hardcore influences. But yeah, I love it. And of course in Spain there is a huge punk scene, like a Spanish punk scene that during the 90s was very, very powerful, and I was really influenced by them. One of my favorite, I would say actually my favorite band from Spain, it's a hardcore band called Sociedad Alcohólica. Just, I really recommend it. Just everybody check them out.
Yeah, I know the band. Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, I'm obviously not calling Angelus Apatrida a copycat band. You basically do have your own style, but what I always wanted to ask bands is when I start dropping names like I did just there with Pantera, Madball, do you find it offensive or just flattering?
Sorry, could you repeat it?
When I start dropping band names like Pantera or Madball, do you find these comparisons offensive or just flattering?
No. I know, of course, I don't feel offense with this. It's normal nowadays. I mean, most of the music are completely invented, and we don't pretend to be the most original band right now. It's stupid to pretend to be original nowadays. I mean, it's not the DNA of the band. I mean, Angelus Apatrida is the band that we would love to watch and we would love to listen to. So it's normal that all the influences go out. Like it's, yeah, of course. And sometimes it's more obvious, sometimes not. But I think it's this is our music, and you will find Pantera, and you will find Madball, and you will find Megadeth, and you will find Iron Maiden and Judas Priest, of course. So yeah, it's not offensive at all. I mean, and I'm honest with this. It's like we know that we're not the most original band, but we don't care. It's like we just play thrash metal. This is not about being original. This is playing fucking thrash metal and being happy with this. So.
Yeah, I'm so glad to hear that. So basically what I heard on your latest album is basically powerful sound, strong rhythms, catchy guitars, memorable verses, choruses. So basically you've got a bunch of real hits on the record. So where I stand, you've made basically a phenomenal record. Not only a thrash metal record, but really a strong metal record. So is this something you actually look for when you are writing music? Do you go for songs that will just pound their way to the listener?
No, as I told you before, it's we just go with the flow and we just compose what we have in our minds, and that's all. I mean, there's no plan B, there's no tricks on that. We just try to focus on that. And that's all. And this time, I think that this is maybe the most complete album. I think this is the album that has no. I mean, we always try to do our best, of course, but when you record an album, you know that there are more powerful songs and more catchy songs, and you know not only the singles, but you know which songs will be like people will like the most. But sometimes you are surprised about the feedback from the people. Yeah, we were convinced that this new album, most of the songs could be like singles, all of them. This is how we see it, because every song is even different in between, but you can listen to the whole album in a row, and it's like 46 minutes album, and it could be even short. Like you could see, okay, it's already over. It's like, well, I think it's a good thing at the same time. But no, it's the way we like to compose. It's like this is what it's in our heads, and this is how they sound.
Yeah, I mean, the whole album is really strong, and I'm not just talking about the modern production. You know, it's got a whole lot of strong songs. You know, that stick to your mind, and just won't go away. Just like the pain in my neck, right around the fourth track. But that's the question between me and my doctor. Since you are a thrash metal band, then well, basically what I think is that the message you convey through your lyrics is extremely important. The lyrics on your new album deal with a lot of current topics, from religion to modern day dissolution, basically, of human values. So you're painting quite a pessimistic picture on the album. Can you even see the light at the end of the tunnel?
Well, hopefully. I don't know what to say. Yeah, it's like music for us is a way of escape, is the way to put all the bad emotions, but even the good emotions as well, because it's music for us is an art, and music for us is philosophy. So yeah, it's very important to express what is inside of us here in our music. I mean, I don't pretend that all music should be like this. Of course, no. Hell no, I don't want this. Of course, I'm very happy how the music it is itself, but our music, our Angelus Apatrida music, this is how we want to express it. So yeah, it's very important. In my case, who is the guy? I am the guy who is writing lyrics, and it's important to send a message. At least is how we understand this, our music. Like we want to make this our way to express something. I mean, we're not trying to indoctrinate in anything. Of course, now we're just giving our opinion of the society that we're living in. And of course, every year we got more problems, especially with human rights and social issues and all this stuff. So yeah, there's always a lot of things to write about in this case. So for us, it's very important. Just try to send a message, but there's not kind of propaganda. There's no, we don't like this. For us, this is bullshit. But yeah, as I told you before, this is the punk way of our music. This is how we understand our thrash metal, and this is what we wanted to express. But of course, I really appreciate that not everybody is doing this. I really love other kind of bands, like talking about other complete things. I need to focus in other things when I'm listening to other music, of course.
Okay, but when you're basically shouting out those socially conscious lyrics, do you sometimes get a feeling like you're preaching to the choir? Because you are singing to the like-minded metalheads who basically have the same point of view as you do. Is there a way of spreading the message further, opening up other minds? And is there some power left hidden in music or art in general these days?
No, I don't think that. Of course, not everybody should agree with our message, but and this is why sometimes people misunderstand music and people misunderstand sometimes the bands, especially nowadays that everything is so polarized and the people are like more radical than ever. So it's like sometimes you got the feeling that if you are not with me, you are against me, and of course it's not like this. This is not a question about only black or white. This is like there is a full range of different grays in between, and I think it's very important to give this message of unity, and this is what we want to do. I mean, we don't pretend that everybody agree with this, but this is what we feel, and some that that maybe disturb us. So we just want to express them through this, but we don't pretend to tell people what to do, of course not. And we don't expect that people will agree with our message, but maybe the message will make someone just think about many things that never thought about in the past. I don't know. It's very complicated, so but in the other hand, as you said, I think it's not. We don't pretend to go to other kind of powers, like going to other kind of people to spread our message. It's like in the end, this is just heavy metal, and it's very important, both music and lyrics, but it's more the way we see the world that send a message to try to change the world, which I think it's impossible.
Yeah, I get that. Now, I watched the video stream for the Resurrection Festival last year, and right then and there you made a strong message against fascism. So basically, given the history of Spain, I guess, well, I guess you have a whole lot to say about the topic. But how do you feel about the rising of these right-wing politics these days? I mean, it's gone global. It's basically all over Europe.
Yeah, no, and I would say all over the world, because we can see it in the United States as well, and even in some countries in Latin America, of course. But I mean, I think it's not a model of left or right. It's not a model of progressism or conservatism. Like, I don't believe it's as I told you before, it's not only black and white. I think there are a lot of different shades in between. But there is one thing that we shouldn't tolerate, because I believe, in my opinion, I think that fascism it's out of any democratic and civilized society. That's all. So, but in our case, just watching, as you say, this like this rising all over the world, especially here in Spain, we got a lot of problems, because it's not just the politics. It's there are aggressions on the streets again. You know, it's like there is a lot of rage on the streets, and this is the most dangerous part of this. So this is what we are shouting like this. We don't pretend, like I said before, we don't pretend to send any message with that. It's just like a normal citizen message. It's like, okay, we're living in a democracy, we're living modern times, and it's crazy that all those old-fashioned things that they should be buried like decades ago, they are back, and people have no shame for that, because they were always here. I think that they were always hidden in the society, but the people was very ashamed of recognize that they were like fascists or Nazis. But nowadays it's like they are even proud, and there's no problem with that. So it's like, yeah, this is very dangerous in my opinion, because if things go out of the matter, it could be very, very dangerous, going even just walking on streets. I mean, so yeah, this is the only way. This is the only message that we can say with that, because we don't understand a modern democratic and civilized society with fascism. I think it's like there's no point. They don't match. It's like they make no sense. It's completely opposite. So yeah, that's all.
Yeah. Okay. So Okay, back to the album. Now the promotion is pretty much gone to hell with the pandemics, and how are you promoting the record? Is there any other way, basically, uh, other than live shows these days?
Well, actually, we're gonna play a live show next weekend, and 20th of March we're playing in Madrid. But it's a show with social distancing, people sitting and
Oh,
just yeah. But we're doing this because we're a small company and we're really in a very very bad economical situation. We need to go back and play we want to play like I don't know a couple of shows like this. Meanwhile, the situation goes better. I hope that the vaccination will work and we'll be vaccinated by the end of summer. So maybe by the end of year we can go back and start touring a bit better. But yes, this is the way we're gonna promote this. Maybe doing a streaming show. We're planning making this live show, like doing it worldwide, like streaming worldwide. So yeah, everybody just check our social. But I don't know. It's like just doing like internet stuff and trying to play here in Spain because we can move in Spain. But nowadays it's impossible to think about touring the rest of Europe. So yeah, I mean, meanwhile, we will be able to do this. We will try to make some shows in Spain to save the economical situation of our company.
yeah. From what I understand, this album started up as an EP, but the pandemics hit, and you just had too much time on your hands, so you recorded a full album. So since the pandemics is still up and running, do you perhaps have any other riffs? You don't seem like a lazy bunch, so I hope you do have at least some ideas ready for the future album.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, we got like two songs that they were out of this album because there was no place for them. The album was originally 12 songs. As you said, it was formally planned to be an EP, but of course, all the things that happened last year just made us compose more music and finish a complete LP. But yeah, actually, we got like two more songs in the closet there, so we will finish them and we will do something with this. I'm not sure if we're going to record a new album soon because I believe that the pandemic will be over and we will be ready to spread the new music very soon. But yeah, why not? It's like we're not we have a lot of new ideas actually. Yeah. So yeah, it's possible that we can release something in the future, in the near future. But yeah, I think it's only 1 month that we release this album, and we need to promote this because I think this is a very very good album. But yeah, of course there are a lot of other things in the closet. Yeah, just keep an eye on our socials for the future.
Okay, that's good. Back to the brighter topics for the end. On the same Resurrection Festival video stream, why is Jose barefoot?
Yeah, because he wanted. I mean, he was. We were in the studio of our friend. Actually, that was the studio that we recorded the album later, and it was July, I believe, or June. So it was fucking hot. It was like it was in the middle of the summer, and in Spain, summer is super hot. So yeah, he was very comfortable like this. So he decided he never do this. I mean, he's always he never plays like barefoot. But that day he decided to do that. So why not? We were at home. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, I'm letting you go right now. Send a message to the plague-infested world, and basically, I hope to see you alive in Belgrade soon, very soon, promoting the new record and having a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, hopefully sooner than later. Of course, we just can't wait to go back on tour, and of course, we want to be back in Serbia, in Belgrade, or another city, and spread the music again, because it's already 6 years that we played there, and we need to go back. We need to go back there and see how the scene is, and to just to check if we got new fans there and what they think about our new music. So yeah, thanks for your time. And just stay safe, keep safe, and everybody just follow us on our social media and just keep in touch. And this will be over sooner than later. So yeah, we will be back on tour very soon.
Okay, thank you for your time, and stay safe. Basically, see you soon on the road.
Yeah, thanks to you. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.